Good morning. How we feeling? I think it is officially day 6 since we started our final shred down, the final lean down. Becoming lean for the very first time in my entire life because I've always been one of the fatter kids, one of the chubby kids. And back in January, I started this journey. Ended up losing like 28 pounds, 27, 28 pounds. And then I went on a kind of main gaining phase for probably like 8 to 12 weeks, somewhere in there. And definitely helped a shitload. Like, I did definitely put on some muscle. So that's cool because I don't want to just be skinny. I want to actually have like an aesthetic physique once I get there. So adding on the muscle, adding on a little bit more mass, huge. So before we eat our first meal of the day, it's been a pretty chill day. I haven't done much so far. We're at just over 100 calories, 113 calories burned so far today, and that's literally just moving about the house. So really haven't done much, but I say we get in a good meal right here, and then I'm gonna edit for just a touch, and then we'll go hit the gym. It's an arm day, baby, so we'll get some arms in, get that going, and hopefully we can add a little bit more size on here before we start leaning on down. I think we're at a good spot, but I'd like to add a touch more if I can. So with all that being said, for the weigh-in, what are we looking for? I misspoke. It is actually day 7. We are officially rounding out our first week right here, right now. And so when we started out, we were at 201.8, lower than that original lean down. We ended at 203 point something. I can't remember exactly, but leaner than that. And then for the main gain, we went all the way back up to like 208, 210, and then came back down. And yeah, so we started this part of the journey at 201.8. This week, we've already gotten down to 200 flat. Right now, I'm not sure what we're going to see. I don't think we've gained it all back by any means or anything like that. But as for, being like ultra light right now or anything like that, I don't think we're quite there yet. Give me another day or two, I think we'll get there. But I think I'm still holding on to a little bit of glycogen. And like I told you guys, the weight loss, over a long, like elongated period of time, you might see a nice downtrend. But inside of a week, you're going to see, you go down for a little bit, then you're going to like flatline. You might go up just a touch, you might go down. And then as you even out into the next week, then, we truly might see genuine weight loss. Biggest thing I am the most happy about on this like mass gaining journey, the hypertrophy portion of this, is definitely the chest and shoulders. And then of course leaning down is helping get the abs just a little more defined here as we continue to go on. So that's one of the cool benefits for sure. I'm just going to pan you guys on down right here. Get you down low so you can see the scale. Let's get after it. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're right there. Right on the freaking cusp. Right on the freaking cusp of being at our flat 200 again. So I'm super happy to see that. I mean, all in all for this week, I think we could say that we are down at least 1.5 pounds, with even the teeter-tottering 1.5 pounds down this week. Next week, I mean, let's see what we could get up to, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. I've been feeling pretty solid, been feeling like good energy and everything going, so I'm pretty pumped about that. But yeah, let's freaking get after it. Let's go have a meal. I'm thinking we're gonna stick pretty traditional breakfast here, but I'll meet you guys in just a second. We'll get to cooking. All right, so far today, we've really only been sipping on some coffee. So, calorie-wise, we've had near damn nothing. I'd say probably about 25 calories today so far. But here's what I'm thinking. I learned a little something from a recent Will Tennyson video where he talks about like the scientifically perfect today, something kind of like that. And for his meal, he talked about how meat and nut breakfasts are pretty filling, allegedly. We're going to keep it fairly traditional. We're going to get some oatmeal going. All right, let me grab my scale real quick. Oh my god, it's not in here. 4th cup. Alright, looks like my brother took the scale. So I have no scale, so we're going to have to go through measurements. So half a cup is 40 grams, so we're going with a 4th cup, which will be 20 grams of oats here. This will be the base. 2 tablespoons is the normal, so we're actually going to go with 12 grams here, which is a tablespoon. Boom, there we go. Get those nice and incorporated together. And then for added protein, I'm going to be adding a scoop of chocolate protein in here. We're going to kind of make a chocolate oatmeal mix. I might add a touch of cinnamon, just for funsies. And then to add to the fats, we're not really adding too much here, but it does add a little bit of fat and a little bit of protein as well. We're adding PB Fit, of course. one of the best things you can have here. And again, this is normally 2 tablespoons. We're going to go 1 tablespoon. We're going to go 1 tablespoon, which should be about 16 grams. Boom. All right. There it is. That's adding it all together. We'll add some water, toss it in the microwave, get it done. That's step 1. Step 2, we're going to be grabbing the pan right here, frying up just 2 eggs and 2 strips of beef bacon. The beef bacon will add to the fat content. The eggs will add a touch, not too much. And then we're going to be getting our protein up from both of those sources. So let me fry this up. Let me throw that in the microwave. And then I'll meet you guys over there so we can break down the macros and enjoy. How we looking? Let's go. Eggies, bacon, oatmeal, already all good to go. I'm excited. This smells really freaking good. The peanut butter chocolate went together perfect. Oh, it smells so good. All said and done. 505 calories, 50 grams of protein, 23 grams of fat, 27 carbs, and 7.5 grams of fiber. So what's going to help us stay full here is the 50 grams of protein. Protein's pretty filling in general, but what's going to continue it on is adding in a little bit more fat with our protein in the morning helps our insulin kind of go on a slower peak as opposed to quickly spiking. Same with keeping those carbs low. If you go high carb in the morning, you're going to have a quick spike and a quick crash. The fats keep it sustained for a little bit longer, and the fiber actually keeps it going for even longer, slower digestion. And yeah, so as long as you can get over 8 grams of fiber, AI said 8 to 12. I'm no scientist, but that sounds pretty good to me. So we're at 7.5. I might have something small just to push it up just that touch, but we got our protein, we got our fat, we got low carb. We're under 30 grams of carbs. As long as you're under 30 grams of carbs, I think you're pretty set there. And then, yeah, this is just going to help overall. So I'm excited to chow down. Let me try this and tell you guys if it's worthwhile, worth making. Yeah, that's pretty solid. If you wanted to add some low-cal maple syrup, which I'm going to do, to top this off, dude, insane. It's almost like a little chocolate cake. Like, you see the consistency there? Nice and light. The real test is seeing if this truly does keep me full for a longer period of time. So I will let you know. But next up, going to do a touch of editing here, and then we'll either head out, get on like a little walk or jog, or we'll just go straight to the gym and hit arms. So stay tuned. I'll see you then. All right. We made it on in here. Arm day, baby. So the things that have stayed consistent throughout the entirety of this journey, even going all the way back to January 1st when, it began and I lost the 30 pounds initially. 30 so far this year, pretty good. Year prior to that, lost an additional 40. So doing very good. Momentum is on my side. I got a little complacent and ended up getting into a unintentional main game, which was kind of a blessing in disguise. And that might be me just trying to justify it, kind of being stagnant and lazy with it, but let's get after it. We're going to be going supersetting biceps to triceps, biceps to triceps, biceps to triceps, biceps to triceps. So starting out, one of the moves that helped me the most with actually getting the true activation of the bicep and actually filling it, preacher curls, bench curls, single arm, preacher curl. And for me, I like really getting locked in here all the way up to the armpit, grabbing this pretty near center and lowering down. I remember starting this with just 15s. This is a 30, and I felt pretty solid. So it's really cool to see all the progress you can make while you're in here, Those small wins are the things you have to keep in mind to show yourself, you're really making progress throughout. Sit this down right next door. We got triceps set up. All right, we're just pivoting on over to right here, getting into our triceps. We're going skull crushers. Haven't done these in a little while, but at first this used to be one of my moves, one of my key moves to really start building the triceps. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hit these first with the weight, and then I saw a cable variation, which makes more sense, applies more stimulus to the triceps, keeps them under tension for longer. So we're going to hit 2 of these, and then we'll hit 2 of those, compare, see what feels better. Going with 60. We'll see what we could get. And the reason why these aren't so great is because when you over top like this, you really don't have anything adding tension to the triceps. You're just kind of holding here and everything's stacked, so. All right. People are probably tired of hearing me say this, so I'll keep it brief this time. Check this out. We're only 13 minutes in and 50 calories in, and that's because we've already thrown in 2 sets of biceps, 2 sets of triceps. That supersetting condenses everything down, gets our heart rate going, keeps it up there, and helps us burn extra calories. So that is something I've done throughout, and I think it's a really, like, behind the scenes sort of thing that I do that's added a ton of benefit to my overall weight loss and everything going on here. So if you haven't tried it, definitely try it out. It might make it way harder than you think because you don't quite get that downtime. And I'm not saying like never stop, just keep it limited, you know. You don't need to unless you're really training for strength. Like, I think that's the only time you really need to sit down and gather yourself again. So, and if you don't want to like superset constantly and you do want that minute in between, at the very least, like take a lap up and down the gym or go grab water from the water fountain, come back, get in some steps in between so you stay up just a touch. But okay, enough there. Dropping down to 25. 30 was getting pretty hefty, but I'm feeling close to it. All right, I have no idea what to expect here with this, so I'm only throwing 30 on here for right now. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it definitely works a lot more. Oh. Holy moly. Yeah, those hit a lot harder. I felt the fatigue actually building up quite a bit in there, as opposed to those, like, I don't know how to explain it. This feels more constant. Like, I feel like I'm just constantly losing a touch of health on the triceps, just ticking down the whole time. I like that a lot. There's a few things I need to tweak just to figure it out for myself. I'm also going to watch and see if the positioning and everything makes sense. But yeah, those are awesome. This will probably be my new swap because those are sweet. All right, last set here. Move the weight up to 40 because it felt pretty good last time, pretty in control and everything. And we're gonna switch to rope just to test things out, see how things feel. We're gonna hit one more set of this because that did not feel so great. I think I'm going to switch back to the sturdier bar. And then I think the angle needs to be down just a touch. We moved that up a little bit, but I think that was close, not quite. So we'll do one more just because I really want to get it going. Fatigued out and everything. I actually failed at the end of the set, but I want to really hone this in because I like this a lot when it feels good. All right, yet another move brought to you via Mr. Eric Janicki. I don't know if me and him enjoy the same stimulus or what it is, but the exercises he picks out and shows tend to hit really, really well for me. So, maybe you'll find an influencer or somebody out there who does a lot of what you're looking for. And if you find that, that's awesome, because then you have somebody to guide you along the way. So, this is another move. Never tried. I've done similar. Usually I will do double bicep curl with the step forward, opening up the chest and curling like this. But this should give us extra stimulus, extra strain on the bicep. So I'm gonna take a huge step forward, get this really going, arm fully back behind, and then curling in. Whew. Yeah, it's definitely getting it going. We hit that extra set of triceps. Now, on to the next move. I'm gonna be doing dips while I'm still semi-fresh here. We only have, one set of triceps in so far. So I'm gonna do dips, and when assistance is needed, I'll just be touching down right here real soft, pushing off real soft, just to give me that extra little oomph to get up and out of the move. And yeah, I remember starting out, couldn't even do one. Then we got to being able to do 2 to 3. Now, we should be pretty freaking close to just softly tapping and getting out 8 to 10. So let's put that theory to the test. Let's get after it. What I find interesting is that most people don't even really talk about dips, like bodyweight dips, for chest or triceps. And I don't know if it's just because it's more of an advanced move, so people don't want to talk about it, because it is a hard move. And how many non-touching tricep dips could I do? 4, 5, maybe? So is that enough stimulus to really get the triceps going at this point in time? Maybe not, but you just saw that really soft touch and then lifting yourself out of it. That's going to allow you to hit those reps, add that stimulus, and then you're moving your body weight. So you're doing something that's very functional, and you're driving a ton of force into it because it's your body working itself. So I'm a huge believer in if you can use your body weight for a few things here and there, that should help you. And ever since I've added in calisthenics, I think strength has gone up quite a bit. So I'm going to keep at it. I love how it feels once you start really getting into it and you really start growing it out. I feel like it's helped me develop my tricep a lot farther along the way. Lighting is not so great here. But yeah, I feel like it's helped me develop my tricep a lot more and just take it to the next level. So I'm always going to be hitting those. And then, once we can start getting to where we're weighting it, doing weighted dips, that's next level. So that's the goal. Oh. I don't know what it is. I'm very in my head right now, and not like in a bad way, but like I'm just deep in thought. I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm thinking about like different things from like the posting schedule and things like that, as well as like things I can make into different shorts and like meal prep and just all kinds of stuff, you know, like not in a bad way. I'm not like depressed or anything. It's just like I'm very deep in thought, and because of that, like I'm lacking a touch of intensity going back and forth between workouts. But like during the workout, I'm kind of getting absorbed into it and like even forgetting to like pay attention to my reps. I'm just more paying attention to when I like end up failing. So you'll notice that this workout is taking much longer than I normally would. I was assuming this was going to be like a 45 to an hour and 15-minute workout tops. And I'm an hour and 5 minutes in, and we're at 320 calories. So the calories are there. They're a little low actually compared to my normal. And again, I think that's because I'm not switching back and forth as quickly as I normally would. So like if you do like that intensity, the calories do end up going down. And like hypertrophy training is not going to burn a ton of calories unless you do little things inside of it to make it burn more calories. So I guess my point here is that like I'm going much slower, taking time in between. Like just like I said, I'm getting lost in thought. I'm just standing there and like, huh. And then I'll walk over here and then like I'll slowly get ready for this, and then I'll hit it and it'll be plenty tough and rough. And so like that's the good part, but like other than that, like we're definitely chilling. We're taking it very easy. Heart rate's at 98. So that's bottom of zone 1 for me. So I doubt we've been in zone 2 very much here. Maybe at the beginning I was a lot more focused on just the workout. But yeah, I guess I just need to focus on in for a minute and see if I can bust the rest of this out without taking another freaking hour. All right, enough. Let's get after it. Here, this is the third and final set of this guy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do it like normal, and then I might take half a second to kind of regather myself, and then I'm gonna take the step up right here, and I'm gonna work on just the negatives until I'm burned out on negatives as well, and that should help really fatigue out the tries. All right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh. All right, so I'm going to do kind of the same thing as I did with the skull crushers. I'm going to do 2 different variations of this cable curl. The normal one that I typically do, and then I'm going to try a seated version, see which one I feel better, see which one I like better. This is one of my absolute favorites. I love the stretching factor on this. I love just, it feels so good, you know? There's a few moves that really just feel so good, so right. And it's my belief that if you find those moves, you should spam them, and they should become a core part of your workouts, because you feel them, so you really genuinely know that you're hitting them. So, all right, let's go. Biggest thing I like doing here is kind of leaning forward, but not allowing my chest to go down with this, kind of keeping up, and then taking a step out so I'm at constant tension with these. I'm gonna go pretty classic here. I'm picking an actual bar to use as opposed to the rope attachment this time, just because I want to kind of load up just a touch on this and change it up. Every now and again you got to change it up. Man, that's the lightest that has felt in a very long time. Wow, crazy. strength gain on a try, so I'm gonna jump up probably like, I dare say like 15 pounds, maybe even 20. Let's shoot for 20. Let's take it up a notch. Shoot for 20. I was doing 40 there. I'm pretty sure 40 to 45 is the heaviest I've gone previously. Not like ever in all of my life, but in recent memory. 40 to 45, definitely up there, and that felt very nice and easy, which is fucking awesome. Alright, let's hit biceps, then we'll get right back into it. Alright, trying the seated version here. I'm going at a 45-degree angle with this guy. I think this needs to be moved just a touch out. Alright, and I'm going pretty light because my arms are damn fatigued, let me tell you. So this will be a nice stretch. This should be insane. We're already, like I said, super fatigued out. Okay, 60 pounds is doable. Just a little heavy. Definitely doable. Alright, I think that's it for today. Went pretty crazy. Like I said, just in my head, or in deep thought. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. Head's not all there, airhead. Foggy. Foggy? Maybe that's the right word. But I mean, like, I still feel good. My arms feel pretty pumped out. Pretty tired. I'm glad we hit a new higher weight, a PR, if you will, on tricep pushdowns. Feels very good, very excited about that. And let's check in, see what the damage we did. An hour, 35 minutes, much slower than I would, even with a partner that's slower. So, like I said, we were pretty casual in here. So, calories, still 480. Let's freaking go. I actually can't believe that. Holy frick. Wow, check that out. This is a huge step in the right direction. I mean, almost 500 calories, so on the day, you know, we're already at 740. Looking pretty good. So we might, probably something really small. Maybe we'll just enjoy a nice little walk, and that should get us the rest of the way there. That's probably the plan. I'll catch you guys then. Alright, we made it out here. It's a little cloudy, so the sunset might not be as nice. That's alright, because we are already over 900 calories. Let me check real quick. We're at 950, so we only need 50 more to hit that 1,000. If we walk for like 20 minutes, we'll get more than that. So we're set for success here. But I'll probably walk for 20-30 minutes, just see how the vibe goes, and then go from there. But all in all, I mean, we're set for today. This is the last little bit of enjoyment you can get. You know, get outside. It's nice and cool out. It feels very nice to be out. Yeah, just hang out, enjoy yourself. Anybody who tells you you can't lose weight walking, I mean, it's just not true, you know? You're burning calories still. It might take you a lot longer, yes, than if you jog or something. But I mean, for the sake of, if you've never really done too much activity or you're like really overweight, absolutely the best approach you could do, because you're limiting your chance of injury so greatly, and it's so sustainable. Like I said, you can do this day in and day out, and be good to go. But alright, we'll check back in like 10 or 15 minutes. Go from there. Officially 15 minutes into the walk. 16 now. 71 calories, so we're already over what we needed. So I told you guys it'd be pretty easy, pretty simple. We're already at 1,700 steps in that 16 and a half minutes, so even our pace is looking good here. I'll probably, what I was planning on doing is just walking 15 minutes and turning around and walking back, so I'll start heading back now. But man, it's nice and cool out. There's a nice little breeze going. I don't know if you guys can see the water, just nice and relaxed. Very nice out. Happy to be out here. Oh man, there's a dude that I always run into that's always biking here, and he's always hauling. I can't imagine how many miles he must get in. Like, he's way out of eye shot. I can't even see him anymore. He just passed maybe 10 seconds ago. But dude's always hauling. He's freaking going for it. He wears like diving goggles to block bugs and everything. But always hauling. It's crazy to see him. But all right, we are essentially back at the car. I'm taking my last few steps towards the car here. Let's check in, see what we got total going. We got 32 minutes, 30 seconds, 140 calories, 3,322 steps. Looking very good. So the total for the day then, we got an extra 100 on top of it. We're already at 1,100 calories then. So there's potential for us to get even farther than that, obviously. But overall, you know, very, very freaking good. So it's my brother's birthday. We're having dinner at the grandparents, and he wants to do like Chipotle bowls. So very clean, very easy, homemade, super clean. Pretty excited. So I'll take some shots of that. We'll get the macros in, and then that's it for today. So whether you yourself are new to this journey, you're on the journey yourself, or you're coming back every single freaking day, shout out to you guys. So far this week, at the most, we were down 1.8 pounds. To end the week, we were down 1.4 pounds. So 1.5 pounds first week. I gotta say, I think we're down to a hell of a start so far. Will I be able to keep it up next week? Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully you join along in the journey to see if I can knock out this last little bit, because it's been the toughest little bit. I got stuck for freaking 4 to 8 weeks, somewhere in there. I got stuck in the main gain phase, and it was very worth it because I did put on some muscle through it. So I'm happy to add a little bit more mass onto myself. But the goal all along was to kind of lean down. So it's a I'm looking on the bright side of stagnation. But let's find out. Let's grab some dinner. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Look better, feel better, be better. It is time to chow down.